There's a hidden group of people who claim they can summon UFOs, and this phenomena has been hidden by our government for years. Like in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947, a rancher found a flying saucer landed on his property, so the military came, confirmed it was a flying saucer, and then later retracted their statement claiming it was a weather balloon. Now, the US government claims they're releasing the UFO Files soon. So before they control the narrative, I wanted to go out myself to find out whether or not UFOs are actually real. In my research, I go to famous UFO crash sites. I meet up with somebody who is literally able to summon UFOs on command. My first stop of this road trip was Roswell, New Mexico, the place where that UFO crashed and the military changed their story. And as we drove into the town, it became clear that we're in the right place.
So this entire downtown is just aliens. UFO Festival, July 3rd to 6th. Visual Edge It. Edge it, edge it.
And the deeper we drove into this town, the more UFO and alien statues we began to see, which honestly was a little bit concerning, because my goal of this video is to actually capture a UFO on camera. And what we'll see later will honestly leave me completely speechless. We pulled into our hotel for the night and immediately noticed things were off.
What's up, you see any UFOs here?
We ended up finding a room that was unlocked and brought our things inside.
Check this out. Bed, couch. Okay, I'm in this shower. I can't take you guys with me.
Basically everything we came here for is closed, so we kind of screwed that up. We're still gonna go. We're gonna ask around some locals. Tomorrow morning, we're going to the UFO crash site, and then we have something super crazy where we're meeting up with a guy who can apparently summon UFOs.
We're gonna be going to a spot called the Anasazi Trail tonight, an ancient petroglyph canyon that's all aligned with the summer and the winter solstice. Literally like an open invitation where we just expect that it's gonna happen.
Do you think that's real?
No.
You don't think it's real?
But hey, I've never seen one.
I've seen a video. There's like actual lights that just come swarming.
Oh, I've seen those, like, yeah.
Random, like it looked like the stuff in New Jersey. They will literally
say they're plasma fields.
But they meditate. They sit there in like this Native American ruins, and they just meditate and they come.
Last year I thought I finally saw one, but it was really just SpaceX launching.
By the way, that's my dad, also known as Traveling Steve. Not only is he my dad, but he's also joining me for the Great Batista road trip of 2026, where my dad, girlfriend, and I drive across the US filming your guys' #1 requested videos. And let me just say, none of us were prepared for what we were about to see later. But our goal right now is to see if we could find anybody in Roswell with a crazy story. Any recommendations for where we should go to see some aliens today?
I would say downtown Maine.
Okay. So right now we have about an hour and 20 minutes until the sun sets. We're gonna try our best to find some characters to interview that live here. Right now I'm here with
Scott Stevens.
Scott Stevens. Scott Stevens, have you seen any UFOs here in Roswell, New Mexico?
This is one of the reasons why I came to this town. I was sitting out here and I saw this thing in the sky. I even took a picture of it. It's stuck in the same spot. I have hope that maybe they will come down and save this planet because we're doomed. Have you heard about Putin lately? That motherfucker is dangerous. We need World War III. Without World War III, the aliens ain't gonna come and save our ass.
We need total and utter abomination of planet Earth for the aliens to come. Exactly. Were you part of a government military operation?
No, but I can pass a federal background check.
UFO, come here. Home.
We as a society can handle the truth. Just tell us the truth. What we're dealing with right now is terraforming.
It's probably the reptilians. The lizard people.
Stop. We're getting too deep now.
Huh?
We're getting too deep. We're gonna get censored.
I can't wait for nuclear war because I'm gonna survive it. I will survive. When the end of the world comes, somebody's gonna run the world. Who says that ain't me?
Scott knows things we don't. We aren't as smart as Scott. Scott?
He's gonna survive.
He's gonna survive. He's gonna be the last survivor, and he's gonna run the world, he said. And I thought he was joking, and he was serious, so I was like, yeah.
He said several years. You know, the rapture is several years, so.
We ended up going back to the hotel and getting some sleep, because tomorrow we would have a long day ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, Traveling Steve and I, and Tierney, are all leaving right now. We slept here last night. We got a good night of rest, finally, after a long road trip. And today our game plan is extremely extremely simple. We are trying to locate and find information about UFOs here in Roswell, New Mexico. Because everything was closed yesterday, we're gonna go to the Alien Museum. They might know things that we don't, and they can direct us towards the UFO crash site so we can go there and infiltrate it.
I'm just disappointed that it went from 98 degrees to 60 degrees in one day. That's alien technology.
That is. What do you think we're gonna find today?
We're gonna go to an alien crash site. That's just a bush.
I heard rumors that this crash site isn't marked, but I have no idea where it is. So that's why we're going to this UFO Alien Museum Center thing. So, you think we'll actually find anything?
I've only seen like 2 things, and then one of them turned off my car. So.
Oh, okay, no, yeah, just some light stuff.
The hunt continues. We will find the alien.
We went ahead and packed our luggage into the car and head on over to the UFO Visitor Center. Our in to finding where this alien aircraft landed is right inside this building in front of me. The employees just pulled in and they open right now. Oh my. Immediately after getting inside, I realized that this place looked a little bit gimmicky. But what's inside here doesn't even compare to what we'll see later with Carl. But after a few minutes inside, I talked to one of the workers. How do we find where the UFO crashed?
At one time you could go out there, but it got bought privately, and he put a fence up and
Aliens to protect.
So how far of a drive is it to not where the UFO actually crashed?
Roughly about 71 miles.
Roughly 71 miles. Okay, I like that. So after leaving the visitor center, we begin our drive to the UFO crash site. Because clearly, Roswell was just a tourist trap. Because according to NewMexico.org, tourism brings in $6.4 billion a year to the state.
I'm starting to worry. Is this just like a ruse to get people to come here and spend a lot of money?
No one would even come here and spend a single penny. This is the road that brings us directly to the UFO crash site. Wow, it's crazy. You go over a hill and it just becomes a new biome here. We're literally in the middle of nowhere right now, trying to find this UFO spot. We stumbled across this sign. So whatever that means, if anyone knows what this means, drop a comment. I'm very confused. This is the first sign we've seen on this entire ride. And the more we drove around, the less we saw. I remember starting to get worried that we wouldn't see anything, but thankfully that wouldn't compare to what would happen later.
That's a UFO, guys. Whoa. We're definitely getting one right now.
And with that, now's a better time to formally introduce Carl.
My name is Carl Andresen. Primarily what I do is I research UFOs and paranormal hotspots and kind of the overlap between the two. And I work a lot with professionals that have left from inside like the UFO capture programs for the government and the military. And if people knew the truth about our reality and about these places, then your codependency upon needing the government to keep you safe with rockets and missiles and guns just falls away. Like your fear of death goes away, your fear of the spirit world goes away.
If we're gonna see something, it would be around now. We're a mile away. No, we're half a mile. In this field somewhere, this UFO crashed.
Your destination will be on the left.
Wow. Guys, we're in a historic site right now.
Almost 80 years ago, the aliens had landed.
Okay, so we're at the parking lot in which aliens landed at. They conveniently landed at a parking lot, which is super sick. So back in 1947, a rancher who owned this land at the time reported that something crashed onto his property. It was a saucer, he said. The police came and investigated it. The military swarmed and cleaned it up. And then news stories released about this saucer that landed, okay? 2 days later, or a couple hours later, they redacted their news stories and changed it into weather balloons. So it's super confusing because the military responded to it. So the conspiracy theory is that it actually was a saucer because originally that's what it was reported as, but then they changed their story and said it was a weather balloon. So we're at the gate right here. No motor vehicles.
Always keep the gate closed because they don't want the aliens to get away.
It's either that or because they don't want the gate to break from the wind. United States Department of the Interior, Bureau of Land Management, entering public land to help maintain your property. So that guy was literally lying to us, bro, because he didn't want to give us the sauce. He wants to keep it secret, I guess.
They figured out when they were developing like the atomic weapons and things that they can build these advanced radar systems that focus microwave beams or energy. It's basically a directed energy weapon. And they have these small mobile units that are basically like an EMP device. They can point these microwave beams up into the sky, and the UFO is kind of attracted to that, or it gets curious because it's interested in nuclear energy and radiation and things, and it comes to sort of investigate. When the UFO appears or it gets close, my friends, essentially, the guys that I work with now, like my friend Mike Batista, he was a Green Beret, like his job is to be one of the psionic assets. Sounds crazy, but they essentially project their consciousness into the UFO, and because the UFOs are all controlled and piloted through consciousness, they basically hijack the UFO, and with their consciousness they take over the controls of the craft, and it either crashes into the ground or they force it to land, and then they go in and surround it, they package it up, haul it off with a Black Hawk helicopter and load it onto a truck, and then it's taken back to a research facility where if there's beings inside, then you'd have to assume that they're questioned or investigated or studied or whatever, and then the craft is analyzed and reverse engineered so that we can try to copy it and see how they work and try to study it. Wright-Patterson Airfield is like where the Roswell crash went.
Right here, what's this? Flag.
Is that the way to the site? No.
Oh, maybe, let's go. Let's follow it.
I don't know about that because it turns too. So
Yeah,
they
it's
would
fine.
just make it a straight line.
We began to follow these flags, hoping it would take us to the old crash site.
This must just be a boundary of something.
We just checked, there's no actual markers online. So we're gonna say it's here, and you guys are gonna be happy with that answer. We went to the exact coordinates and it dropped us in the road.
We kept on finding these orange flags that looked like it was marking a trail. So naturally, we started following them.
We've been walking for probably 10-15 minutes now, just following these flags. Look at that, they go back that way. Oh wait, there's a spot that ends. Traveling Steve, what's your take on this?
I feel there's nothing left. I feel that people have already stripped this site of any possible remains. I am very surprised at how cold the desert climate can be. Us northeastern people just don't know until you know. And now I know. Why the aliens were even flying around here when there's nothing around, unless they were taking the cows.
This is the black thing I was looking for. This is the UFO, folks. We walked all this way for this. Huh. We're gonna head back to the car and go on a long road trip to meet up with Carl. Never met the guy. There's a chance he no-shows and we're screwed. Or there's a chance he's a murderer and he kills us. Never even seen him. I just talked to him on the phone once. Great guy though, for real. Well, let's go see Carl.
Utah is a very beautiful state. Not a lot out here. So for those of you that like the hustle and bustle, maybe not the place you want to be. Take the time, come out, experience. Cell phone doesn't even work here. That's refreshing.
All right, boys, after a almost day-long drive, we've made it all the way from Roswell, New Mexico to the middle of nowhere, Utah. It's great because we were crammed up all day in the car, and today we have a big day ahead of us. Carl, who is our UFO expert, is coming here any minute now. There's also this guy named Tyler Shaw coming here. He does a bunch of stuff like sneaking into cults and stuff like that, so I'm super excited for that. We're filming another video on that tomorrow, so make sure you guys tune in for the rest of this road trip. We're not even talking about the drive yesterday. At one point, I'm pretty sure I saw a UFO in the sky. I'm not even kidding. I watched back the footage and I still think it's a UFO. The goal for today is talk to Carl, meet Carl. Pretty sure he's just a cool guy. Like, obviously with what we're doing, most people probably think that you got something wrong with you. I think he actually can get UFOs here, and I'm genuinely like looking forward to this. And if he can't, this was a long ass road trip.
I'm scared to go, but I also don't want to stay here alone.
What if they come here?
Yeah.
That's valid. Well, I can say that there's a lot of experiences that I've had where I'm at a research site and the one person that doesn't come is the one that sees UFOs and experiences. You know, I started like having just paranormal experiences and encounters. People talk about sleep paralysis, and I had sleep paralysis a lot as a kid when I was growing up. And then that part of my life kind of drifted away in my teenage years, and I grew up pretty normal. I would say about 8 years ago, it just suddenly started happening again. Like, I would wake up in the middle of the night and it unlocked all these suppressed memories that I had from my childhood, you know?
Okay.
And so then I started looking into that, and I felt like called to go and look at these places and hang out in these places. And when I started doing that alone, that's when I started seeing UAP, like UFOs and stuff would show up.
Now, because I wanted to go in this and take it entirely seriously, I had a few main questions that I wanted to ask Carl that I think are pretty important and a lot of you also want to know. And my first major question was, what even is a UAP?
What are they? And what purpose do you think they serve?
Wow, that's a deep question. What is the phenomena?
Yeah.
What purpose does it serve? There's a couple of explanations. I don't really know.
Sure.
Like, ultimately, I don't know if they're from another world or another dimension. Like, I do know just from my own experience that they are some sort of looking deeply into your own self, like a test of your own soul and what your consciousness is evolved into and what you're really ready for. Like, when you see a UFO in the sky, the reason it always leaves you with a lot of times more questions than answers is, I think, because they serve sort of that purpose. Like, they call for your curiosity to come forward, and they sort of like beckon your own courage to step forward. You're either going to go home afraid and not want that to happen anymore, or it's going to unlock something inside of you to where you get curious and you start to explore what happened inside your mind and these things that you saw and like, what was that? And
at the time of me editing this video, there are some unverified claims that some Christian pastors have been called down to apparently Washington, D.C. and have been allegedly briefed on these UFO files before they've been released to plan their response.
There were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state. What they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft. Some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors, you need to prepare your people for what you're about to hear. Crafts that have been discovered that are not allegedly a part of our planet, and the materials they're made of are not a part of our planet. Very strange reptilian-looking creatures and other things that almost sound like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Like I said, these are unverified claims at this moment in time that I'm editing this video, but it starts to make sense after how Carl explained this. Carl has some mutual connections to people that have been involved in the UFO files, so it kind of would make sense that pastors are being briefed on this if it taps into spirituality, which just sounds insane. Also, some people are claiming that the government may be trying to pull a psyop, that the UFO files are a distraction from something bigger, but all this is just conspiracy. So naturally, my follow-up question is, are these angels, spirits, jinn, watchers, gods, demons? Like, what are these actual entities?
When it comes to the question of like, are they angels or demons, or is this the experience of encountering them and seeing them and connecting with them is very spiritual in a sense. But I think that terminology is sort of outdated in my opinion. I think that the terminology of it being angels or demons, I think that comes from, you know, cultures of people a long time ago that didn't really have a deeper understanding of what was going on, and so they had their own beliefs and their own ideas about reality, and they came up with these particular names for it, you know.
What Carl's describing isn't really about UFOs, or at least in the way that we think about them today. What he's saying is that ancient cultures called them gods, religious texts called them angels and demons, and other traditions called them jinn or watchers or spirits. They all have different names, but at the end of the day, it's the same encounter. And in Carl's view, it doesn't just show up randomly. It shows up almost in a way to test you, to force yourself to look at your inner self, and forces you to look into the mirror of your own soul. And at the end of the day, I'm just a YouTuber, and this is way too deep for me, but all that I know is that I want to see if Carl is right. Will we see anything when we go out and look at the night sky? I'm gonna spoil it here. The answer is yes. So we began our hour-and-a-half long drive to a Native American petroglyph site.
All right, folks, we drove about an hour away and we're at the petroglyph site. I want to take the time right now to plug Carl, because none of this will be possible without him.
Yeah, if you want to follow me, I film a lot of documentary series as well. A lot of my experiences and places that I go, all of my content is called Carl Crusher. Everything that we're going to be doing tonight, we kind of nickname it Psionic Contact, and I just published a book called Psionic Contact that's available on Amazon. You can
Really?
This is a hot spot of paranormal activity from the valley up onto the canyon, the petroglyph sites, and I anticipate we're going to see a few UFOs tonight. And in fact, pay attention at home if you're watching this at home, because we're talking about a phenomena that is outside of linear time. So it doesn't matter if we're filming it right now. You might have some kind of inspiration or feel like to go outside and look up or to pay attention in your own environment.
Yeah.
And you might actually have something that shows up for you in association with just watching what we're doing.
So if people comment right now saying I don't claim any of this dark energy, is that gonna do anything?
I mean, yeah, I just having the positive mindset and anticipation and good intentions, and it'll go well for you. So
lead the way.
Okay, we'll just go up the trail this way, and then it kind of button hooks around. Pretty much right up here, we'll start getting into some of the lower petroglyphs, and we'll just pop in and look at some of these down low and some on the ridge up here, and then we'll just go ahead and we'll do the walk up to the top and show you all the big stuff.
Oh, look, got a sick light. Traveling Steve comes prepared. That's a massive flashlight. I can't believe you had that in your inventory like that. So we're going off trail here now.
Just right here, I found this little patch of petroglyphs, so we'll just show you some of these first ones here.
Sure.
So this is kind of like the first set. You can see.
Oh yeah.
Some of these symbols in this line, circle. Here's a whole like shaman figure.
Oh my goodness.
They call this the squatter man.
Yeah.
And there's several figures along here, like this little guy here. So these would have been carved probably by the ancestral Puebloans, 500 years old to 3,000 years old.
Oh wow.
So this is just a small patch. The ones that we see up there are bigger. There's figures this tall.
Guys, I must say, I would have not ever even realized that those were there. It's just fascinating that it's lasted all this time. And it just really shows a glimpse into human history, and it's awesome. I must say, I'm getting a good shot of you right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, this looks pretty sick. Put this on your Instagram.
Nice.
We spend the next 20 minutes or so walking around and looking at some of the petroglyphs before finally making it to some of the bigger things.
Okay, so we've been walking for about 10-15 minutes. We already spotted a couple petroglyphs. The farther in we go, the more peaceful it gets, the less we hear noise from the city that's next to us, and the more tired I get. Yeah. Climbing is extremely steep, and there's a lot of shale. I'm also wearing Walmart sneakers because I forgot to pack good ones. I'm not even tired anyway, so.
No, that's the hardest part right there.
Oh, sick, okay.
Hello.
Hey guys. You guys are real, right? You're not ghosts? Okay.
You got the figure right here. Count how many fingers and toes he's got. 4 on the one hand, maybe 3 on the other. And then notice how there's a smaller figure up above him there.
Yeah. Oh my
You've got
goodness.
a lot of footprints with random amounts of toes. Some of them have got like 11.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, you see that? What?
Going to the ancient petroglyphs just at a very basic fundamental level, it just gets you out of the city in a way, gets you out of all the artificial junk frequencies and everything. Provides, first of all, just at a very basic level, like a clean environment where it's like nobody's gonna hoax you and you're not gonna get too confused about what you're seeing. If you see something anomalous, you realize you're not by an airport or anything like that. So it cuts out a lot of the BS, first of all.
It's amazing to see out there in the world, if you really open your eyes, what there is to discover. Take your eyes off the phones and get out and search.
That's good. I like that one.
Keep calm, travel on.
Right now we'll climb down this way, so just watch your step. Climb down on this boulder. You can see this squatter man sort of symbol here on the left. So does that look human to you, man?
Not at all. That looks like an alien.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at the fingers, the antennas.
Yeah.
That does not look like a crown.
See the eyes?
The eyes, yeah, big eyes.
And that spiral, see how the spiral
goes
has
up.
a line going up? There's an arrow on the top, like it points to something.
So now that we finally made it to the petroglyph site, all that's left to do now is sit there and meditate to summon the UFOs.
What's the game plan for right now?
So now's when we just like align our consciousness, like what we talked about in the interviews. What I kind of do is I visualize my energy and my consciousness sort of going down through my body all the way to the center of the earth, and then I imagine it resonating back up and then going up into space like a beacon. And at that same time I just send out a feeling of invitation and inviting them to arrive, and kind of like sending out your GPS location. You know, like you're sharing your location with them and inviting them to come. And then as you do that, you just keep your perceptions open and watch the sky for things tend to float out up above the mesa. Lights turn on the mesa, or I've even seen what look like shadow figures moving between the boulders up here. And
Okay.
heard voices of people talking and different things, and just kind of keep an open mind and good intentions. And
Dude, absolutely gorgeous night right now. You could see thousands of stars.
Yeah.
Right now. I'm gonna set up the camera for you guys so you guys can see better too. And we'll just have to sit and wait and see if anything happens. And I'm pretty sure we'll catch something on camera.
And I kid you not, literally the second I set my camera on the tripod, we began seeing lights in the sky.
that's a UFO, guys.
Whoa.
We're definitely getting one right now.
Right there, guys. That's
It's going right into Orion's belt. Look how close it is.
Whoa.
There it
No
is,
way.
Matt. There's our first one for the night.
What? I have goosebumps.
Look how big that is.
This thing's massive.
Before you even say it in the comments, I don't think it's possible for all of us to have seen this and not realize if it was a plane.
It definitely changed directions. Like it came over the mesa, like towards us, and now it's kind of
It's moving.
It is kind of wobbling up and down as it goes.
It's gone?
No, it's still there. Oh, now it's like zipping off into space. Holy crap, it just flew away really fast.
Right now, we are located in an ancient petroglyphic site, and we actually just saw a UFO and caught it on camera. I'm not kidding. A massive red light came over this hill, and it just slowly started hovering, and it started meandering around, not like a plane. It wasn't blinking. It was just this orange light. Slowly dimmed and zipped out of frame.
I just got touched
What?
on the neck, dude.
Stop.
No, I'm not kidding. I just felt like something grabbed my neck, like touched me.
Dude, you're sitting like right in front of the petroglyphs.
Oh my goodness, that's where I got touched. I got touched on my ass, and no one believed me. Yes.
On my neck.
Yes, bro.
Really?
Okay, I don't want to scare anyone. I'm sitting right here, trying to get my mic working on my camera. I feel something grab my ass. No, I know it sounds like I'm joking. I'm not joking. Was it you?
No, it wasn't me.
Okay. I bet you now we're gonna see another one because that happened and then we saw one.
It's like it's like we're getting prompted, like we're feeling things touch us. To not sound too mystical, but like the spirits of the ancient past are right here.
This is gonna be hard for a lot of people to grasp, especially if you haven't experienced it.
I wouldn't listen to someone on YouTube talking about it.
Yeah.
You have to. That's why I said on the camera before, you gotta get out of your phone.
You literally just have to go see it yourself. So I'm sitting right now, and what'd you say this is called?
The shaman seat.
The shaman seat, which basically means, so what does it mean? What I'm gonna do right now is just sit here and meditate and see if any of us see anything in the sky, and if you do, then like interrupt, but make sure it's actually something. Like don't just say like you see a flickering star.
So I sit there and start meditating, and all of a sudden a light pops up.
It's in the same spot going up again. It's another one. Wow, that one's really bright. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's moving. Oh my goodness. I literally see it moving across the screen.
The light continues to go across the sky before slowly dissipating.
We've been out here for about an hour now, just staring at the stars, and it is not getting boring at all.
I remember standing there in complete disbelief, watching the stars, thinking about how this whole entire road trip finally paid off. We drove thousands of miles to see what we're seeing tonight, and it felt like we saw something that not many people get to see.
Traveling Steve, let me get a post-game interview here.
What I saw this evening, I've tried to see for, how old am I? 52 years. And never anything like this. And not what I would expect. I've heard people try and explain what they've seen, and I'd be like, maybe they're drinking or they're doing something. And I didn't eat today except for some fruit earlier. Very little, just water. No drugs or alcohol, and
your eyes are very red though.
I know, it's very dry. It's
red.
windy and dry.
Look how red your eye is.
Let's all get off our devices and stop listening to the outside world and focus within, because they're out there. With that, remember, keep calm and travel on.
Anyways, this is definitely no Roswell, New Mexico. This is genuinely real, I think. no other explanation. So, hey guys, it's me again, from the future. There is another explanation of, as much as I wanted to believe and just take what we saw literal, I did some research. As I was scrubbing through my timeline, watching back the footage in 10,000 speed, I noticed that there were a lot of these lights and they were all moving in straight paths. Those big lights that we were seeing, reflecting back at us, were most likely Starlink satellites. I found a study, and the study essentially says that certain satellites are made of different materials, and depending on the angle that they are, they can reflect back sunlight at you, giving off this illusion that there's some UFO in the sky. I just sent Carl a Zoom link. We're gonna have a quick little meeting. The reason I wanted to hop on this call was because I was watching the footage back. If you watch it back in a faster speed, when it looked like on the naked eye, the orbs were kind of shifting around, on the footage, it's actually just a straight line, right? I did a little bit of research and I found a paper on this.
Yeah, it's something that we have to always be aware of. A lot of the times we'll pull up satellite trackers and double check it all.
So I was gonna ask, do you have any footage that's like clear as day? Something that's not a satellite that is like provable?
But I have definitely seen things that have come down and then whatever it was appeared to actually like land on the other side of the lake. And then this light was like panning around and moving around in the trees. And then it came across the lake and it was on the same side of the lake as we were on. And it looked like this big glowing crystal in the shape of like a wedge, and then it was over. So I mean, I've definitely seen stuff like in front of the mountains, not on the horizon in the distance.
Look, as I look back on all my research and firsthand accounts, I want you to be weary of all of this new information that's coming out. First off, question absolutely everything. Is it true? Why is this information coming out now? Is it a government psyop? Why haven't other countries come out and said anything about this before? And really just try and take in all of this information and just take it with a grain of salt. Even after all of this, I'm still questioning everything that I saw, and I feel like I didn't see anything that's concrete proof of UFOs or aliens. But at the end of the day, I'm still satisfied with everything that we did see. As I spent those 2 weeks doing the Great Batista road trip of 2026, I realized something that I never really thought of before. Regardless of if there's extraterrestrials out there or whatever's going on, all that really matters is that you actually just get out of your comfort zone and enjoy life a little bit. Traveling Steve is right. Sometimes you should get off your phone a little bit, make memories with your friends, spend time with family while you still have time, and try and get out to experience as much as you possibly can, because at the end of the day, we're all gonna die one day. Really dark, but I'm gonna leave you off with that. Anyways, YouTube thinks you'll like one of these videos. I will catch you there. YouTube says that 96% of you guys aren't subscribed. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you're subscribed.
Somebody's gonna run the world. Who says that ain't me?